Angkor Wat, an ancient kingdom built by Indian Brahmin kings. At the end of Ice Age, 12,000 BC, Indo-Chinese region was inhabited by Australoid people. The land bridges between Malaysia, or rather Malaya, the Indonesian islands and Australia were subsequently submerged. Various population groups migrated. The Mon-Khmer people settled that led to the kingdom of Funan and Chenla. Between 4000 BC and 100 AD, settlements were formed throughout Indo-China, the current Cambodia, which should be correctly pronounced as Cambodia, and the reason will be given later, Laos, Thailand and Vietnam. These settlements were influenced by cultural influences of India and China and the religion of India, initially by Hinduism and later by Buddhism. Between 100 and 200 AD, an Indian Siva Brahmin by name Kambu Svayambu went to Funan, married a local woman chief. He taught the local tribal people elements of culture. He made women wear clothes. The local people greatly impressed and requested him to be their leader. Trade with India between prominent trade with India between these countries continued. He means Kambu assumed kingship and the country came to be called Kambuja and later Cambodia. Unfortunately, some people mispronounce it as Cambodia. There is nothing to do with the Cam here, it is Kambu. Kambu planned a huge, vast and a luxurious city. The Brahmin dynasty of kings continued, and by AD 357 King Chandan and later his successor continued. The subsequent kings were Bavavsrman, Mahandravarman, Jayavarman, Ishavarman, Indravarman and others. In AD 514, King Rudravarman cultivated worship of Hindu Vishnu, prior to which, as Kambu was a Shaivite, it was a Shiva worship. From around 2200 AD, when Jayavarman V, who quit Hindu faith and accepted Buddhism, Khmer Empire declined, prior to which it was one of the wealthiest with gold, diamonds in abundance, with some of the temples having thousands of people in maintenance and in priesthood. As time passed, the entire empire declined, and there was also a war between Siam, which is a current Thailand empire, and Kambuja and the Kambuja kings lost. As the time passed, vegetation managed to grow and huge trees of fig and silk cotton grew on the temple, with the roots destroying almost completely. The temples were submerged, rather the entire empire was submerged in the thick tropical jungle, and the people who survived continue to believe that there was a loss of a city of Cambodian empire. As generation passed, this became a rumor, and also they felt that the temples were built by gods and giants. In 1980, the temple was rediscovered by French missionaries. Henri Mahout, a French botanist, started renovation program that continued until 1968, when the Vietnam War totally made the studies to be stopped. Then came the Khmer Rouge, the guerrilla movement, who killed their own Khmer people. Only when the guerrilla warfare ended, over the period of time, the UNESCO got into the picture and recognized the place as human heritage. And many countries, including India, Germany, France and others, have contributed for renovation. And now what is seen in Angkor Wat is a renovated place. However, a place called the background of this is Bing Milia, which as of today is not renovated and the ruins are still there. Whereas Angkor Wat and many other temples which I have been visiting from 2002 has gone progressive renovation and the tourist traffic has increased. The data included in this is based on a multiple verification of the history, and that the best dates that is possible to find from documented data. As time passed and the birds singing and trees growing, this is to show how the structures in the Angkor Wat got destroyed by these massive trees, roots, and they are still growing as the trees are alive. But the destruction is visible on the ground. The cracked walls and the trees hiding behind the wall. Some more of such evidence. Another example of massive monument under renovation. Thanks to UNESCO, entrance to the main area or the town with these gates lined by one side on the Devatas, other side on the Rakshasas. Just there are 4 of these entrances. That itself should have been a massive undertaking in the ancient time. At least some of them are still preserved. This is referred to as elephant structure or this is elephant terrace, a massive structure. Behind which was Angkor Wat King's Palace, lined by guerilla holding up, and what I filmed is just one half with the other half on the other side. Behind this structure is King's Palace, and seated on this terrace the king used to watch the procession and other issues related to his empire. This is the terrace for king and his team to be seated. Massive structure called Bayan means father and mother in the local language. Was built by Jayavarman 7, and one can see despite the changes that took place, still it is structurally kept because it was not destroyed by the growing trees for unknown reason. This is Brahmin, built by Jayavarman 7 in honor of his parents. As at that time the king and the god was considered one and the same. This is Angkor Wat, the world's biggest temple built centuries ago by the kings of Kambuja, founded by Kambu, the Indian Brahmin who started the whole issue. The inside is even massive, with the walls covered by the Ramayana and Mahabharata, which are Indian epics, on the wall, and also the king's procession showing his glory. Thus, a huge Hindu kingdom built today is in ruins, and good only for the historians to learn and regret, and tourists to look and enjoy.